teaching that was given to them that they would have failed it, because she could have built them up to that point that they would be able to understand from math. Have you seen the movie Stand and Deliver? Well, there was a teacher that was in the Spanish speaking.
Yes, I did. I saw that.
Now,
I use that as an example.
Students that just couldn't do that and that kind of analogy. And all those kids passed at a very high test score. And they thought that the kids cheated because they scored so high for minorities. And they had to take the test over again to prove themselves, because the test people did not believe that these kids could have such a high score from the area they lived in. See, so they were labeled. And so they did have to take it over again. They didn't want to, but they had to prove themselves. And they did it, and they passed high scores again. Not as high as the ones they originally got, because they had like an attitude because we had to do this thing over again. But the teacher says, now I want you to give them the scores they had the first time.
I saw that. It's excellent.
Same thing happened with chess match too.
Excuse me, sir. Can I get this next question? We'll come back to you. Okay.
Maybe you could comment on this. I have to stand up for this. I am teaching the Cambridge Public School System only because I have 3 children who went to these schools here in Cambridge. And all 3 of those children were told, don't take the college course. Well, then how do you handle that? I don't think any teacher has the right to tell a child, don't take the college course, you're not college material.
I agree.
As a parent,
Now,
I got right on the case. I went down to deal with the teacher, and I told her I send my children to school happy. I pray with them at home. I feed them at home. I expect you to teach them and not to tell them what they cannot do. That's negative. Then I went on. I said, well, if I can't find teachers who will do it, and at that time there was no black teachers in the system, I said, who will, then I will. Then I became a teacher. And because I had experienced that kind of thing with my children, I was not satisfied that my children was able to go through. I was concerned about all of the children. And I think one of the problems that happens is that when we have our children at school, some parents are very active, but when their child graduates, they take a step back as if to say, I don't know. But all the children in the community are our children, and we have a responsibility. Teachers have, I said, well, I'll be a different teacher than the teacher that my child had. I want to be committed to giving quality education to all of the children. I also wanted to encourage my children to know that they can achieve, that they are achievers, and I put energy behind that, expose them to positive role models. And all 3 of them, I have to say, have gone through college and gone on to become successful. One is a doctor, one is an architect, and the other one is a hospital administrator. And all parents have power. Teachers have a responsibility to be accountable, whether the parents are watching or not. When you make a commitment that you are going to deal with these children, that should be honored. You should honor the integrity of your work and to be accountable. Not only, there's a higher accountability than to parents. You know, God is watching you from a distance and from close by too. But I also want to say that if you let a child know that he's beautiful, he can achieve, and keep telling him that, he will do that. But if you tell him you can't do this and you can't do that, some children will believe it. And I just maintain that if you see parents who tend to be a little slack, empower them. It is our responsibility as teachers to encourage them, to say, come in, you have something to offer. Have all kinds of visual aids that reflect the environment of the children. Like if you in my class, I had children from all over the United States, Africa, Haiti. I have pictures and stories about Haiti, pictures and stories about Puerto Rico, Africa, and all of those, European, everything. So I think that we cannot blame everything on the parents. And parents have a lot of power. They just need to use it. And I thank God that I was able to go into the school system, and I have been able to make a difference. Because I started off at Martin Luther King School, and they gave me what they call the slow learners, problem children. That's the kind I wanted. And I did wonderful. Every one of them went on to college. I can prove it.
One thing, Francis has a beautiful story. But one thing I would like to debate with you, stop saying college courses for those courses. Because they're labels, they're not college courses, they're life courses. If we get to accept them as just courses of every child, you don't have to go to college. You shouldn't have to go to college to take those courses. I think we should get away from college.